Masahiro Sakurai is the director of Smash Bros. He has been with Nintendo for over 20 years and has also worked on the Kirby and Kid Icarus franchises. Despite the product he has put out, it was capable of being better. Because of the directions he takes, it's not. There are decisions he makes, there are things he says, and there is a repeated pattern of behaviors or lack thereof that don't make me like this guy that much. Reason number 1. He plays politics. Sakurai has a rich history of favoring certain characters over others. His favoritism is very present in the latest Super Smash Bros. Game. Palutena is apparently one of Sakurai's favorite characters, much so that he also created 12 different special attacks for her when she's hardly even a worthy enough character to be in the game. Even more blatant is the inexplicable addition of Dark Pit. Why does he deserve to be in this game and not somebody else? Reason number 2. He has a massive ego. The directions he takes are all based on what he prefers, not what's in the best interest of the fans. Just because he's worked on a couple of games makes him think that we really like what he puts out. The last time I checked, this is a game of Nintendo All-Stars. I don't consider some random Pokémon, random Fire Emblem characters, and random Kid Icarus characters to be all-stars. He's already got Kirby and Kid Icarus to create whatever shit he wants, because he's providing a new take on an existing product. But Smash Bros. It's a game of characters. No storylines, no continuations of franchises. Like, why does he have to feel the need to shove his interests down our throats and expect us to like them? This isn't Super Sakurai Brothers. Go make Super Sakurai Brothers if you want a game like that. Reason number 3. He hardly ever makes up his mind on anything. And I mean anything. He is never honest about his work. He says that he's not going to make any more clones, and he makes more clones. He says that he's not going to bring back Dr. Mario, and he brings back Dr. Mario. He says he's going to cut several characters, and he doesn't. He says he's not going to add any god characters, and he does. Rinse, lather, repeat. And let's not forget, he makes up his own rules as he goes along. He says he included the Duck Hunt dog because of how many copies that the game sold, but prior to that, he put Greninja in the game before his game was even on the market. His thought process is just all over the place. Donkey Kong Country has sold over 9 million copies. Where's King K. Rool in that regard? He's not in the game, while this crappy Pit clone whose game only sold 1 million copies is. Sakurai wasn't high on Pac-Man because he thought he would make a plausible fighting character, then he adds a character that only laughs and picks up ducks. Custom Robo is a franchise that is clearly non-existent in this game. Nothing at all about Custom Robo, because Sakurai said that franchise is dead. Kid Icarus was dead, until he added Pit to Brawl. Then the rest is history. So in order to be in Smash Bros., you need to be in another game, but in order to be in another game, you have to be in Smash Bros. That's quite a paradox he created. Reason number 4. He barely shows any creativity. I will be direct on this one. Ganondorf was originally supposed to have his own moveset in Super Smash Bros. Melee. Because they didn't have enough time to develop it, they made Ganondorf into a clone of Captain Falcon. 14 long years later, where is this aforementioned moveset? We have yet to see any signs of Ganondorf using any moves that he was planned to get in Melee, likely involving his sword. He still has a slower Falcon Punch, a Falcon Kick, and a Raptor Boost just like Captain Falcon. Why didn't Sakurai feel like giving him a more diverse set of moves like in Hyrule Warriors? And how about all those counters? Counter after counter after counter. Can't Sakurai think of a better move for characters than that? Marth? Little Mac? Shulk? Lucario? His boyfriends Pit and Dark Pit? His whore Palutena? And let's not forget the final smashes. Donkey Kong's didn't change. Peach's didn't change. Fox nor Falco's didn't change. Bowser's didn't change. Yoshi's didn't change. Many of the characters that needed better final smashes didn't get better final smashes. Oh, besides Pit, Kirby, and King Dedede, whom Sakurai made games for. Reason number 5. He's a diva. I have not heard of anybody who constantly whines and complains more about his job than Sakurai has. He always has this excuse that his arm aches. Wah wah wah, my arm hurts. He sounds like an entitled little brat who is craving for attention. Bitch, why should we care that your arm hurts? You're a director. You boss other people around for a living. How did you hurt your arm? By pointing too much. I understand how hard video game developers work though, and that is exactly my point. Everybody works hard. He's not some special case. Look at Assassin's Creed. They make a huge game every year. The director of Unity, Alex Amancio, said they once had to rewrite 6 million lines of code just to get Arno to crouch on Q. Has Sakurai had to do that? Until we see other game directors whine about how they are tired and act like some crybaby, then I can say Sakurai does. If he doesn't like doing the work, he should not even signed up for it. Many other people would love to have his job. Reason number 6. He allegedly hates fans. Have you heard the saying, "The customer is always right"? This allegedly does not comprehend with Sakurai. He is very bitter towards fans who express their concerns about the product they are paying for. Customer satisfaction is a high priority for every business. However, that just seems to be the least of his worries because he has hardly supplied the fans with their demands. Since 2006, fans still have yet to play as King K. Rool, Crystal, and Ridley, 3 characters that have been widely demanded. Sakurai ignores them and instead adds characters such as the Duck Hunt Dog or Dark Pit, which nobody asked for. Then when people tell him he is in the wrong, he calls them out in an interview. You don't criticize the people you're trying to sell your product to. This is possibly the worst thing that a business could possibly do. Sakurai is acting like some unprofessional baby. Reason number 7. He's incompetent. There are just some decisions that he makes, or lack thereof, that don't make any sense. First being the games that are being represented. Sakurai put Shulk in the game solely because of his game that recently came out on 3DS. The Yoshi Woolly World stage is also in the Wii U version, even though that game has yet to be released. Yet he had no communications with the team behind Hyrule Warriors. The only time we see a different Ganondorf, it's got to be for a whole different game. He couldn't get with Koei to work with new designs for characters such as Ganondorf or Shake. Rosalina is dependent on Luma to add an extra limb to her attacks. The only special moves she has that are attacks are the Luma Shot and the Star Bits. The Launch Star is not an attack and all the gravitational pull does is attract items. So if you're playing for Glory Online, she's pretty useless. Especially if she doesn't have Luma, which is fairly often. Now for stages. Why is there Smashville when there is Town and City? One is basically just an enhanced version of the other. I don't get why Sakurai included Smashville. Giga Bowser, why does Bowser turn into Giga Bowser for a final Smash? Oh, the memories I have of all the times Giga Bowser appeared in a Mario game. All 0 of them. And of course, the reason why the Ice Climbers are not in the game is because of the 3DS's hardware limitations. Really? So just because he couldn't get them to function in the 3DS version means that he just had to take away the privilege of them being available in the Wii U version? There was no harm in just putting the Ice Climbers in the Wii U version. I'd bet many people who play the Wii U version but don't have or play the 3DS version were pretty disappointed. So there you have it. 7 reasons why I detest this man and his direction. He doesn't seem like the guy that is fit for the position that he's in. If somebody else was in his position, I bet the roster, the gameplay, and the whole game in general would be a lot more enjoyable, and not feel like a $40 or $60 advertisement for a past game he did.